EPC Insurance Requirements Checklist. Every successful engineering, procurement, and construction project begins with planning. Project planning steps. Project planning, engineering, scheduling, procurement, budgeting. A frequently overlooked area? But one critical area is frequently overlooked until contracts are signed. Insurance requirements. Insurance more than paperwork. Insurance should never be treated as a simple administrative requirement. It is a fundamental component of project risk management. Allocating financial responsibility. The insurance requirements established before construction begins often determine how financial responsibility is allocated when unexpected events occur. What you'll learn today. In this executive briefing, we'll review an EPC Insurance Requirements Checklist that every project owner, contractor, engineer, developer, and risk manager should understand before work begins. General Liability Insurance. Commercial general liability insurance forms the foundation of most EPC insurance programs. It helps address claims involving bodily injury, property damage, completed operations, personal and advertising injury. General liability critical considerations. However, the limits required by the contract should be carefully reviewed to ensure they align with the project's size and complexity. Builder's risk insurance. Builder's risk insurance protects property during construction. Coverage typically includes buildings under construction, materials, temporary structures, equipment intended to become part of the project. Defining builder's risk. Every project should clearly define who purchases the policy, who is insured, coverage limits, deductibles, policy duration. Professional liability insurance. Design-build projects frequently involve professional services. Professional liability insurance helps address claims arising from professional errors, omissions, or negligent design activities. Engineering, architecture, consulting, project design. Complementary coverage needed. General liability insurance is not intended to replace professional liability coverage. Pollution liability insurance. Many EPC projects involve environmental exposures. Pollution liability insurance may be essential depending on project scope and contractual requirements. Fuel storage, excavation, contaminated soil, stormwater runoff, hazardous materials. Understanding environmental responsibility. Organizations should understand exactly which environmental exposures remain their responsibility. Workers' compensation and employers' liability. Construction projects involve physical operations that create workplace injury exposures. Workers' compensation requirements should comply with applicable state laws while also satisfying contractual obligations. Multi-jurisdictional operations. Organizations operating across multiple jurisdictions should confirm that coverage appropriately follows project operations. Commercial automobile liability. Many losses occur away from the construction site. Commercial auto liability should align with contractual insurance requirements and project operations. Employees, service vehicles, equipment transportation, material deliveries. Excess and umbrella liability. Large infrastructure projects frequently require liability limits well beyond standard primary insurance policies. Umbrella and excess liability policies provide additional financial protection above underlying coverage. Evaluating liability limits. Required limits should be evaluated against project value, contract obligations, owner requirements, potential catastrophic loss scenarios. Additional insured requirements. Most EPC agreements require one or more project participants to be added as additional insureds. This provision should never be assumed. Coordinating additional insured status. Coverage depends upon all four should work together to avoid future coverage disputes. Contract language, policy wording, endorsements, certificate documentation. Waivers of subrogation. Many contracts require waivers of subrogation between project participants. These provisions help reduce litigation following insured losses. Proper documentation is key. However, waivers should be properly documented and supported by the insurance policy. Simply referencing them in the contract does not automatically create coverage. Certificates of insurance. Certificates of insurance provide evidence that required coverage exists. However, certificates alone do not modify insurance policies. Verifying insurance compliance. Organizations should also confirm documentation should be maintained throughout the entire project lifecycle. Policy endorsements. Additional insured status. Required limits, policy expiration dates, carrier's financial strength, contractual compliance. Periodic insurance reviews. Insurance should not be reviewed only once. Projects evolve. Periodic insurance reviews ensure the insurance program continues to support project operations as conditions change. Scopes change, subcontractors change, values increase, schedules extend. Executive summary. Insurance requirements should never be viewed as paperwork. They are essential for project governance, contractual compliance, and enterprise risk management. The strongest EPC organizations. The strongest EPC organizations understand successful projects require more than engineering expertise. They require contracts that clearly allocate responsibility, insurance programs that support contractual obligations, disciplined documentation from mobilization through completion, reducing uncertainty and ensuring success. Reviewing insurance requirements before construction begins is one of the most effective ways to reduce uncertainty and strengthen long-term project performance. Get a second opinion? Before signing your next EPC contract or renewing your insurance program, consider getting an independent second opinion. If you'd like a confidential review of your insurance program, contract requirements, or risk financing strategy, schedule a discussion at www.montridgeinsurance.com. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the next executive briefing.